Hello everyone, so this is our GoZ model that we did before, and now we are going to take a look at some reference and really try to touch up on this before we go further. So maybe one of the things I really want to fix before we go further is these hands over here. So the hands and the fingers is kind of important because it's going to be really tricky after we actually make this into adaptive skin. So we want to make sure the the scale of these hands looks good, and although I'm making it really big right now, we kind of have no choice to do it this way. So I'll just pop out the Control Shift click on the dynamic so that I would shift this whole set of arms together. It's not working very well actually, so maybe I'll just use a scale instead. So move it up. So if I hold down Alt, I'll be able to hold down what and be able to grab whatever there is below it and move it up like this. So see, I'm pressing alternate round and I can move up this area. So if I press alternate here, I can move this whole area, this sphere and the spheres below it as well. So it will make more sense right now. Still looking a little bit big, but you know, it's there's a reason for this in a way. It's much easier to fix later, even if it's a little bit big, than it being small, because some of our the top of the fingers is a little bit tapering already, and we're going to have problems when we start using adaptive skin. Okay, so why not we try that? Okay, let me just save it as a different version, and I'm gonna make it into adaptive skins tools, adaptive skin, and I'm just gonna put the resolution up. So that's pretty cool. We are going to put down the resolution, probably to 100, and I have a preview, and it's actually looking not too bad. Okay, and I'll just make it adaptive skin for now. So I have a skin model, so this is the one with no undos, and I can't go back to Zsphere anymore, and this is the original one that I can still use Zsphere. So let us work on the skin version. And we are now at 57,000 points. Our mesh form is still not looking that great, and but at least we got it skin. And I'm just gonna teach you guys another next step from here. So go to Tools, Geometry. Geometry tab is over here, and you use the Z Remesher. So what Z Remesher does is it's gonna adapt this mesh to make it even lower resolution, but in a really smart way. So it's like retopolizing or creating a low polygon version of the model, because now it's a bit slightly heavy. Okay, for base mesh, you know, we want to keep it lighter for Maya, so we do this, and it's gonna give us really good results. And we don't want to just use Dynamesh because we can only go up to 8 resolution, and we don't know how that's gonna look. But Z-Remesher, we have a lot more control over low poly count, doing a bit of low poly count, and it works in very compatible with Dynamesh as well, so there's no issue with this. So go ahead, just use the default settings, and I'll press Z-Remesher. gonna give me the result in 11,000 polygons. So now if I look at this, this is much more manageable, isn't it? So this looks like a model that is able to do in Maya already, and it's looking great. Okay, so maybe I can just oops, let's just save a version here, like save it up, and just save this skin version for now. And what I want to do here is to start working on this model. So actually it's possible that I half this poly counts again. Actually, let's try it. So if I press half and I do it, it's gonna help me to lower this poly count to 7,000, which is actually really good. Okay, so let's say you're happy with 7,000, we have adapt and half, and then so just now from 11,000 it actually minimize this into 7,000, and I'm just gonna go to my side view really quickly and use my reference to help me get some of this right, and it's gonna be so much easier when we have some good reference. Of course, we learned about anatomy before, but whichever way that can help us have the good result in the fastest possible way, we should just use it. And in this case, it's just really good. And you have to understand that Zsphere is this is a good way for us to start the base mesh, and obviously it's just base mesh. We still need to do a lot of adjustments to it so that it's gonna look good in the end, and it's up to us at this stage to use our eyes and take note of our reference to make different parts of this look good. So I'm just shaping this up a little bit better, you know, and I can already start to do some inflating, like show the parts, like make it more reasonable. And because the resolution is lower, you know, we find that we can apply and shape this base mesh a lot better. And now is not the time for you to start adding sculpture shapes, like it's more about making the chunks of the form right now, and that's what we want to do. Alright, so looking pretty okay so far. Now I'm just gonna adjust my side view and go to the back, and looking pretty good, huh? So just, you know, shaping the mesh a little bit better, and making sure your scalp looks good as a base mesh. And it's important for you to use a lot of snake hook at this stage. So you can see I'm doing a lot of snake hooks, and I'm also what I can do, I can use my brush, skip that, and I can start to cut some of this up. And you know, it's entirely possible. Actually, I'm gonna cut the front as well, because the front is obviously off, and I'm just gonna go to my top view really quickly and see how I opened up the front part of the leg slightly. It's gonna look so much more accurate right now. Just 2 steps, you know, pinching it left and right, and from a front view I'll just cut it out again. Looks so much better already. shape this part of the leg to be skinnier, and probably I can also use pinch. See if pinch is working well to give us this sort of skinniness at the bottom part of the leg right there. Depends on how you added the shape before, and I'm just gonna lightly add a little bit of kneecap here, just very lightly. Don't need to do too much sculpting right now. Just look at the overall form of the base mesh that you have, and do that. Okay. Looking pretty good. So go to the side view, use number 3, and we start applying some butt here, and probably use my number 6. Can make it a little bit deeper. Don't need to worry too much right now. Just have the form there, and I can probably smooth this out a little bit. Just a slight touch. So hold my shift, and I'm gonna push down my intensity a little bit more, so it's not so strong. And yeah, it's gonna work better. It wasn't that strong. Also depends on how your monster is gonna look in the end. Remember that I'm doing a generic model, but yours might be different. Okay, but I'll just keep it generic for now so that everyone can learn together. The back part, back muscles, I think I'm fine with that. I don't need to worry too much about the back muscles too. Probably add one of these things over here, and that's about it. Alright, don't need to worry too much for now. Let me look at this again from afar. Yeah, that's why you need to always look at model from afar, because now I can see my own mistakes. Because before that I was too zoomed in. I think everything looks great, but when you look from afar, then you realize, wow, I make a bunch of mistakes, and I don't even know why I don't see it before. Like this leg should be longer. It looks so much better when it's just slightly longer now. Give you a better character form and design to this. Slightly, lightly pinch it, maybe very, very lightly. Okay. The front part of the leg has to open up a little bit more, and use your observation skills to help you. Alright, from here on, we do a cut on the chin. The cut right there really pops our model. Give another cut for the nose, probably. And I'm gonna use my polish, H polish, to just polish it in. And then I'm gonna try to pull out some of this nose right here. Oh, it's not working well. Okay, I'll go to front view and actually create my... It's not gonna work well, but I'll just keep it like this for now, and I'll probably do an indent inwards for the eyes, and something like that for now. Shape it a little bit. Bear in mind we can do more sculpting on the face later. Now it's just the base form, like what I'm saying. And shape it up to make it look better. to my back view, and let me just try to make this face a little bit better. I can give a cut at the side like this, and it's gonna make so much more sense. Just leave a cut right there, and then probably later I'll put a nose set of ear in my the head looks to be a little bit big, so I'm just gonna use a really big pinch brush and pinch it down a little bit. It's getting a bit too skinny when I pinch it. So okay, I'll use masking instead. So I'll mask this area. I'll click on here, the edge, so that the mask becomes softer. I'll invert the mask and I'll go to scale. Scale it down slightly. Yep. Scale it down slightly. And I'll move it up a little bit more. Alright. Too much. A little bit too much. Okay. Something like this is fine. First it's like this, now it's like this. Alright. So looking pretty alright here. Okay, just now the way I moved the legs caused some issues for my legs again. Just need to take note of things like that, then how it's gonna affect you. And it's important to keep our models in symmetry right now. You know, you don't want to lose that symmetry. Symmetry is very useful, very very handy. So yep. So create an anchor point here. Use my number one brush. Okay. Make it stronger over here, probably, and a little bit stronger over here, and push it in here. I have to go to my front view and push in all these parts of the anatomy better. Alright, it's looking pretty good. I'll just go to my hands again over here because I don't like how it's looking right now, and I'll probably soften this up a little bit and Control R I to invert it. Put my pivot over there. Remember the pivot lesson we have, and just gonna rotate it slightly more like this. Now I don't want to make it half Z-dimensional, but I can make it keep the same. And it's gonna look how it just fixed my my topology here. It's amazing. Just I'm gonna do that for everyone to see. So now that's a problem. Alright, Zbrush is gonna keep everything straight again. Very cool. Very very cool. Okay, the hands still look a little bit skinny, and now you can start thinking what kind of hands is your villain gonna have for this, and it's gonna affect how we look at this model in the end. Shape this up a little bit better. Shoulder, move in. control my hands again and rotate it out slightly, longer maybe. And I'll remesh again. Actually, I'll not remesh it. I'll try to fix this area first. Use my number 4 brush and then try to which is stick hook. Number 4 brush is stick hook, and I'll try to make everything right again. Takes time, but you know, you'll get there somewhat soon. It wasn't easy, yes, that's for sure, but you can definitely get there one day with enough time and patience. Bear in mind that we took some time using the traditional method to come up with the whole body, and both methods is actually just as useful, and it's good to learn both because there are times where you can only use one software, and the more you know about each individual software, the more you do better. Okay, so maybe I'll just keep it like this for now, and I can flatten this area, the palm, just a slightly bit more, Very cool. Right, so let's stay with this for now. We can still change it a little bit later. Okay, are we okay with that? Shape it up a bit, Now it's looking better and better. And you can really tell that this is a good base model to start off with. Pretty cool. You know, I want everyone to try to do this step, but also not spend too much time on it, because in the end it's just a base mesh. You know, the juicy parts of the details and the kind of silhouette can still be adjusted later. But at the same time, the base mesh is important for us to just lock down the scale of things and the design, and then as we move forward, we know what to do better and better out of this. Let me just adjust this area really quickly. Hold down alternate to change the pivot. Hold down alternate again to shape it right, and make it straight for me. Cut this up a little bit more. Very good. Very cool. So So this is a good base mesh that we can start with, and we're good to send this over to Maya. So let's go ahead and do that. I would save this out. Yes, Zsphere 5. Go Z. Alright, so if you go to GoZ, okay, let me just open up a brand new file and hide this too. So if you're new to GoZ, there's a GoZ brush button here, and what it does, it will transfer our sub tool into the application you're using, and I've already set it up for Maya. And so once I click that, it will ask me about this, and I'll say continue. And normally it will go through all the different softwares like Similar 4D and different softwares, and then it's at some point it's gonna tell me Maya the file directory, and as long as it's pointing to the right file directory, it's gonna do the transfer. And as you can see, now my Maya has the model that I just modeled, and I don't need to do import and export thing. Yes. Obviously I can do it with OBJ export and import, but this method will be much easier as we go forward. So what we want to do is, we have this mesh here, and we have 14,000, 10,000 polygons. It's a good mesh to start. And best thing about this is it's a mesh we made on our own, you know. So it's mesh, a base mesh that you can call your own. Means that even after this module is finished, next time you just want to sculpt or create something cool, you can go back to this base mesh and start adding some cool stuff to it. So this is a good important step. And yeah, so just imagine you use put this for example, now I'm putting this as a live, and I can create some shapes on it. Let's say I created a cube, maybe a part of a gear or something, and just move it out, you know, like oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so something like that. We wow, we can create something here. Okay, let me redo that actually. Or I can use my let me see, select these few faces, and because the edge looks are so good, you know, just in case you don't know, like triangles doesn't exist in Zbrush, and you can just double click right now, and I'll select a bunch of this. Oh, actually this selection is pretty cool, I'm just gonna make use of it. And then I would deselect a bunch of these areas that I don't like. Okay, which is fine. And I'll just do a duplicate, Ctrl D, and just Ctrl Shift I to delete everything. So what I have is, I just have a duplicated area with just these faces. Okay, so if I if I isolate this, and I want to go into all the face mode, and I purposely press Ctrl E. Sorry, I should and I purposely press extrude. Where's my extrude button? Brain is not working now. is my window not popping out for me? Yeah, there's supposed to be a window, isn't it? So do it. Well, let me use just an object mode instead, and I'll do a extrude. I just want to make it thick actually, and give it some thickness to this guy. Press extrude. So if this is a bit much, then let me do that again. Yep. So it's because of this button. So my construction history was off just now, and I don't have this construction history thing, which is really useful in this case. So, right. So let's say I want a 0.02 thickness, and you see I have a nice thickness of this part here, and this was created using just using the existing faces of our model. And let's say I want a banner on the head. 1, 2, and double click, shift click, okay, hold on, 1, 2, 1, and then I'm holding shift, 2, double click, and 1, hold shift, double click. Very good. Control D, Control Shift I, delete, and then I'll just use this face mode, and I'll press extrude again. And 0.02, very good number right here. See, I managed to create all of this really fast using this method. And like when we're doing hard surface, we really want to be able to adjust some of these edge loops, and this is why I recommend using Maya as well, because alright, if we go to slide edge, you know, you can use middle mouse click to just drag this. Oh, what's happening here? Okay, let's say I just control 1 for now, and just click 1, slide edge 2, and I'll just middle mouse to drag the edge. Okay. Sometimes, at least a bad thing about this tool is that the controlling part is a little bit finicky sometimes. And yep, I managed to get it there. If not, you can use just create edge loop, create another edge here, and I'll just go back to edge, double click the edge, shift right click, delete edge, and you get that done too. So that's good. And face mode, shift double click, face mode, shift double click, extrude this out, Control E, go back to this 0.03, 0.01 actually, and I'll have get some just a little bit of hard surface going, you know. And this is already a very good base for us to start like adding some cool Zbrush stuff to it, like just a simple design like this, like, you know, 3 section is, I think it's good, you know, like that we are able to do this. And let's say we're on a bracelet. Okay, go to face mode, 1, 2, 3, okay, double click, oh sorry, 1, double click, 2, double click, 3, double click. It's much easier like this. Control D, Control Shift I, delete, and then go back to object mode. We have this out. Okay. Create center. Go back to make a center here. And let's press Control E. 0.02. Actually, I'm just gonna go back to my extrude settings and make sure I reset everything again, because it's kind of annoying. And I have this again. So pretty cool. So let's say I'm trying to select all these areas again, and I Control E, and I can probably shift it in slightly, yeah, and then I have a base like this, as opposed to another design. So it's good to start to create various of this pattern on your base model, and then soon when you are done, let's say we have all these parts done. Okay, we can try to give it a good name here, brace, and this is a banner on the head. Oops, this is a human. This is a base mesh actually. This is the banner on the head, and this one is the shoulder thing. It's really important because at the same time we want to be in Maya to, like, let's say if I want to make a sword or something important for this guy, and it's important to just kind of do the base and be able to have all these numbers here and be able to transfer this over to Zbrush later. So let's say for my character sword, I model everything nicely over here, and let's say this is a sword, something like this, just a placeholder for now, and let's say we're done with this and we want to put it on the character. You can then duplicate it and then you put it on the character. You can rotate it as you wish. You can put it behind here. You can put it behind on the back of him. It's so much easier this way, and you have all the numbers here. So as opposed to in Zbrush, you don't have this rotation number. So let's say now I know that my rotation number is -47, and it's still really useful. So for these few steps, try to do some more base stuff and some tools in Maya, and we are going to use both Maya and Zbrush to our advantage. Use the best methods and tools of each software to make our jobs easier, and then end result is we want to be able to create really good models with both Maya and Zbrush. Cool. So let's say you got everything down, and this is a sword test. Okay, and we're ready to export. Okay, so I'm gonna just select all my models. I'm gonna give it a save just in case I crash, and let me see, why should I save this? Let's save this in this folder very quickly. And there is going to be a Go Zbrush button here, and when you pop this button, you can transfer your model directly into Zbrush. So let's try that. So I'm gonna press it now, and oh, I actually came up with an error. So the sorted test mode W. I actually don't know what that means. Let me look at my model. It doesn't look like it's being transferred. Yeah, so maybe I should just work on this view for now. Let's try this button again. Yeah, so this view is gonna work. So and this is a common error that is being associated. So right now it's saying that it's linked to a mesh, and whether you want to create a new one or I want to just rename it. So I don't know. From what I know, like Gozi has a history, and it kind of affiliates and associates objects in Zbrush, and I actually don't like that. I like it to be just clean instead, and but sometimes it does do that, and if you do that, I would prefer to just create it, and it does give me the pop-up. It's annoying, but I'll just say yes, create for everything, so that I'll just create this out. Okay, and as you can see, it's already pretty good, right? So we managed to have each individual subtools being exported. Points is low, The base geometry is there and it's sticking right on the model. You know, we got a really good base to start on many of these things. So the shoulder thingy is the same, 1000 over pixels, and then we can use this. The face, yep. So we have 4 parts and each individual parts is all here. Very cool and very easy to use. My colorize is on somehow, and I'm just making sure I off all the colorize right now. Local transformations, local symmetry. So if I just now when I was rotating, I'm not able to rotate properly, and local symmetry will help that. Cool. So I believe for this sword wise, I just need to combine this mesh, and if I combine it, I freeze it, and I'll send it to GoZ, and it's gonna pop out in a new file over here. So I have these two and I have these two with everything, so I'm just gonna go down and append it in, append the sword test, and you can see the size is all correct. So sometimes GoZ might be finicky. Your tools and subtools might end up in different places, but the idea of using GoZ is that if you have 20 or 30 objects and you need to export them, import them one by one, GoZ is a much better way and more efficient way of doing this, and you will really like it for what you have. And when you go back and forth between GoZ and Maya, we can then go in and really texture these things up and be able to do everything really cool. So for example, this sword right here is 16 points. I'm going to bring it up to 200 resolution, maybe a little bit more too, and I can just quickly apply some alpha to it. I'm going to do alpha drag and see what kind of alphas I have. The sword, see? Creating some cool stems here. And it's gonna look really cool, you know, because these are high resolution Dynamesh objects, and all this is gonna just help us create a really nice flow out of this. See, now I'm creating some wood texture. Very nice. It's gonna work well. Cool. So this video will stop here, and we'll go through about more of the next process later. Alright, thanks.